My name is Shanna Mccormick, and I'm on the Crash James Show.
You know it. Like, one of the big things on the show that I think, because right now, well, especially in America, like, everybody is on this eat healthy craze. Everybody is on this diet craze. Some people don't make it past, and you know, everybody have this New Year's resolution. Yeah, I'm gonna lose 10 pounds in the whole year, you know? Now, you really did it. You know, on the show, you said you lost 70 pounds. 70 pounds.
Yeah.
Now, you lost 70 pounds. Now, how did you do it? Like, because when I saw you on Vh1, I was like, I'm inspired, because sometimes I go to the gym like for 2 weeks, and then I'm like, I'm done. Like, I need your inspiration right now. I need your motivation.
Well, you know what I tell people is that it did not happen overnight. It took me 3 years to lose 70 pounds.
Okay.
And both sides of my family, but you know, when you grow up in the South, I mean, hello, you know, we're the most obese part of the nation. And you know,
food in the South.
Exactly.
I love to eat.
Exactly, me too.
Yeah.
And so I grew up in a family where you ate whatever was in front of you. And then my daddy's side, and my daddy's side of the family is Mexican. My grandmother is Mexican, and so growing up eating her tortillas and you know and all that, it's just like, man, like I was doomed from the start.
So you're Mexican and white.
Yeah, my daddy is. And see, that was the issue too. Is that's an issue I've always faced as well. But that's a whole. I can go.
Go. Let's hear it.
Well, see, the thing about that is that living in the South, what I have learned and about the race issue is race is a very arbitrary subject, and you know, arbitrary means it changes, and so depending on who I'm talking to, I'm something different. And so, like, if you've ever read The Souls of Black Folks, W.B. Du Bois talks about how race is a peculiar institution. And honestly, I have to agree with him. Even in 2015, I believe race is a very peculiar institution, simply because for me in my walk, I have had experiences where, what are you? Are you a light-skinned black girl? Are you, if you're not black, then you're just white. Well, if you're Mexican, then you're one of us. Are you Middle Eastern? So it's just, you know, it's very, it's very, especially for someone like me whose features, you know, are, I guess you can say, different, you know?
You just can't.
So what about, that's what I always tell people, what about just being a human being?
Why does it matter? Why does it matter?
Right, and I think America, we really need to talk about, and I think too, more white people need to talk about race and to not be afraid to talk about it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times while white people are afraid to talk about the race issues because they don't necessarily know what to say, or they don't want to come off as
touchy
racist.
subject,
Right.
So it's like walking on eggshells. What can I say? What shouldn't I say?
But you know, some people have to have tough skin. Like, I have all types of friends. I'm from South America. I'm Trinidadian and Guyanese. So I have all types of walk of life friends, and I'm not scared to speak up on race issues. I think some people, they get too touchy, they get too emotional. Like, you have to go in there and say, hey, Shana, you're my friend. We could agree to disagree, or we could agree.
Exactly.
But we still gonna be, because it starts from the heart. We're still human. We still bleed blue, red when it comes out. So at the end of the day, it's all about communication, because let's just say, and it's a lot of things dealing with media, because if I took 5 kids from 5 different cultures to somewhere in Pennsylvania, like, you know, and raised them without TV, nobody would know about color. They would know about whatever I told them.
Well, I mean, and even for me, honestly, the race issue, so this is a great example. Growing up in the South, in a small, I graduated with 13 people in my high school class.
13?
Small, yes, my school doesn't even exist anymore. Growing up in a small southern, predominantly white town. See, my grandmother and my grandfather were married at the age of 15. My grandmother, her first language is Spanish. They got married in Fresno, California, came to Outtakes, Arkansas, which is where my grandfather is from.
Okay.
So, you know, my grandmother, unfortunately, Spanish died out. She did not pass that language on to my father, so therefore it didn't get passed down to me, because she was one of the, I think probably the only person in my town, you know, who spoke Spanish. And of course, living in a southern town and the racial tension in the South, you know, when you speak a different language, you're looked at as ignorant or this or that. So my grandmother, she still knows Spanish, and you get her around her brothers and sisters, and she definitely knows it. Right. Yeah. But like for me, I'm like, Grandma talks Spanish to me. She's like, I forgot it. I'm like, whatever, Grandma. But you know, so just even going back to that, I'm so thankful that when I was growing up, my family, my mom and dad did not sit me down and say, you can't be friends with them because they're black and you're white. And so yes, racism is very much taught. And I say that because I did not know it was a problem until my 9th grade year in school. I played basketball, and some of my friends came to one of my... yeah.
Oh, man, you gotta go to the basketball
I try to be. But some of my friends came to one of my basketball games, and the next day I sat down in class. This is the 9th grade, so I remind you, I'm you know, almost I'm a teenager then. They called me an N-word lover. They was like, Shanna's an N-word lover, and this. I had never heard that word before.
Really?
So I went home to my mom that day. I was like, Mom, these 2 boys called me this name, you know, and my mother had to explain to me what that word meant.
Wow.
And so that moment literally changed my life, because I was like, I was just like, wow, so you're telling me I can't be friends with my friends because we don't look alike? I don't understand that concept. So like you said, like, it's taught. It is taught.
It's taught. Like when you in a playpen, everybody chilling with each other. By the 6th grade, everybody knows who's who. Like,
pretty much.
You're white. You're Mexican.
Even before that.
These kids now. Ooh.
Yeah, social media.
Seriously.
Social media. So, like, are you single or are you dating?
I am single. I honestly don't know if. So the thing about me is, even in regards to dating and all that, is that I believe that I'm 27. Most women my age are in a rush. I'm definitely not. I believe that it's going to happen whenever it will happen. So I'm just chilling.
Now, are you one of those women? Now, are you one of those women that say, "Team single, I don't want to settle"?
No.
Thank you. Now, my biggest thing is, right, because you know, I did a film, Miss Independent Woman, about all different cultures, and I'm a great researcher. So what I tell the black sisters, and this is just my thing, I grew up in Oklahoma, I lived in London, I live in a couple different places. Now, I'm not going to say, I can't speak for all, but I tell my sisters that, you know, we talk about the VIP thing, like, and we talk about, like, just because a guy is in the VIP, that don't mean he's rich.
Oh yeah.
Just because a guy the guy that might be by the bar might be Mark Zuckerberg.
Hello?
Thank you. So you're about to prove my research in front of us, right? Yeah. Now I said, you want to know why white women win sometimes? And I tell myself. They say, well, what you mean? Why they win? You know, because it's this issue about black men dating white women, right? Okay, cool.
I know.
I said because they don't assume and they investigate. That's my thing. I said they don't assume and they investigate. They make sure, and then I compare it to the Gabrielle Union show, Keeping Up with Mary Jane. She wanted the guy. You seen the whole show?
Not all of it, but
at the end of it, like, it was this guy she was dating, not the married one, but the guy ended up like marrying like the white woman, right? And he was like, yeah, Mary Jane, like, I always was rich, or I always had money, but I just didn't want to smooch off my parents. So, and then I showed my homegirl that I was like, yo, you see, look who he married. She didn't assume, and she investigated. And she's like, oh shit, you're right. And that's my whole thing now. It's like, stop assuming and do more investigation.
Yeah, that too. And you know, for me, honestly, and maybe it's just because I am a product of a divorced home. Okay. I'm not in a rush because I just want to make sure it's the right person. I want to make sure that's my best friend, that we fit together. And like I said, you know, honestly, I'm cool with dating, going out here and there, but I'm so busy focusing on trying to get myself together and make something out of myself that I'm just hoping it just falls in.
Okay, so what if Mr. Steal Your Girl holla at you, Trey Songz? Then what? Would you investigate?
Are you going to treat him any differently, or is it going to be just?
Well, let me tell you something like this. You know, I've had guys come at me before, and one thing that I just do not like about certain men is that they flaunt because a lot of women will flock to guys who have everything, you know, on paper or camera or whatever. And for me, I want a man who's humble, you know, who doesn't have to broadcast his assets per se, you know.
Okay.
And so to me, I don't care who you are. Like, I just want to make sure you're a good person. Don't get me wrong, all that stuff is great. Don't get me wrong, I want all of that good stuff, whatever. But for me, it's going to have to be compatibility and friendship that sustains this long run.
So you want to really get to know the person under the jewels and the clothes and the flashy things.
Okay.
Because to me, pardon my French, but all that shit don't matter unless if you're not a good person.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Now, who's your ideal man? I'm gonna take two men. Like, I'm like, okay, would you pick? And we're gonna be honest. We have to be honest. Would you pick? I'm trying to put it in perspective. Like, would it be somebody that you know? Who's behind the scenes that's well known that I could actually? Okay,
you heard.
No. Steve Stout. Now, would you pick? And we're not gonna go off of colors. All right. Would you pick? Idris Elba, or would you pick a Mark Zuckerberg? And we're not going off of color because we know he's white and Idris Elba black. Like, who would you pick? Like as far as like career wise.
I don't know. Okay, I would out of those two, I would pick Micheal Ealy.
Micheal Ealy.
He ain't a choice.
Micheal Ealy.
I don't know. He's just.
You got a thing for blue eyes, huh?
He's just good looking. I mean, but honestly, I don't necessarily discriminate when it comes to men, but I like them. I mean, I'm not picky.
Okay, you're not.
But in a way, I am.
So